Thanks everyone for joining this evening. I can see we've got quite a few people on the call today. So that's very exciting. It makes it more exciting for me when I know that I'm speaking to a lot of people and can hopefully pass a little bit of my knowledge on to a few of you. As Isaac already mentioned, just a little bit of housekeeping. The chat is open. Feel free to send any message. We're going to do a little bit of that as part of some of the interactive things we'll be doing during this session. But feel free to send messages in the chat. For those of you who have joined Zoom on your phone, I know sometimes it can be a little bit small to see, but you are able to Zoom, which is funny. You can Zoom and Zoom. You can Zoom on your screen to try to zoom into some of the slides that we'll be going through today. We do these workshops every month, so I'm really excited to have you guys here. I hope to see you next month. For those of you who joined last month and are coming back for more, that's great. So welcome everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll kick start. All right, so today we are talking about Instagram marketing for business owners. This is a very exciting topic for me. My background is in digital marketing. Before I became a chief operations officer, all I did was digital marketing. So now I'm very fortunate to have Paul and Winnie on the Oze team who are doing some of these things for me. And I'm sure they're on the call and will be able to answer any questions that I can't answer. But I'm very excited to share a little bit of my experience about digital marketing and analytics with you guys today. So I want to start off by just getting to know you a little bit. So this is where you type in the chat. I would like to know where you're joining from. I'd like to know what challenges you may be facing using Instagram. Maybe you're just about to get started using Instagram. That's okay. Let's hear about some of your challenges in the chat. And let's hear what business you're into. You can tell us a little bit in the chat what you sell, what product or service you sell, what you're passionate about. And then we're here to talk about Instagram. So share that Instagram handle or that Instagram link so that we can all follow each other and hopefully do some business together. So let's go ahead and do that. If everyone can try to post something, type something in the chat, and we'll start like that. All right, great. Someone in fashion joining from Nigeria. Team Jose joining from Ghana. They're probably here with me. That's great. All right, someone into marketing tourism in Ghana. That's excellent. Someone's into producing herbs and spices in Lagos, Nigeria. That's wonderful. Maria's joining with her business, Mara Foods in Upper West. That's great. Welcome, Priscilla. I believe we are also streaming live. So for those of you who are joining us live from Facebook or one of our other platforms, welcome. Martin from Accra, he's selling home and office decor. That's great. All right, excellent. We've got a very diverse group of people, all kinds of different industries. Jay Classy, I recognize that name. So please go ahead if there's any challenges that you're having using Instagram or anything you want to know about Instagram. Go ahead and post that also in the chat so I can make sure to address them during this session today. So let's go ahead and move forward. What am I going to talk about today? We'll be talking about who is on Instagram. Hopefully it's your customers. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about how to get started with Instagram. for those of you who are new to Instagram, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to get started. And then a couple of jam-packed sessions around how to write killer posts and how to get more followers. We all want more followers, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Then I'm going to dive into 3 of the different Instagram features, 3 of my favorite features. We'll talk a little bit how to use them, how to be effective with them. And then lastly, we'll talk a little bit about how to do advertising on Instagram. I know not everyone is doing advertising on Instagram, but if you have a little bit of money that you want to put towards Instagram ads, it's very powerful. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. If there's anything else that you would want me to cover today, put it in the chat. We'll see if we can cover it. All right. So let's start with the who. And I always like to start with numbers. Isaac mentioned that I'm a numbers guy, which is kind of strange for a marketer. But those of us who are into digital marketing, we really care about numbers, right? So in terms of social media users in Ghana and Nigeria, we'll look specifically at these 2 markets. We had 2.2 million new social media users that were added in Ghana last year. In Nigeria, 6 million new social media users were added. And that's on top of the 8 million social media users that already exist in Ghana and the 33 million social media users that already exist in Nigeria. In case you were wondering, Instagram is the 4th most popular social media platform, just behind WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. So I thought that was really interesting to share. Was surprised actually that it wasn't a little bit higher, but 4th place is still good. 2 million Instagram users in Ghana are added each quarter, and 8.4 million Instagram users in Nigeria, right? So this data comes from the Global State of Digital Report from Hootsuite. I'll share the slides after the presentation. You can review the reports a little bit more. But what I really want you to get out of this is that your customers are on Instagram, right? It is worth your time to pay attention to this platform, to try to do marketing better on this platform so that you can reach customers that are on the platform, okay? All right, as we get into the nitty-gritty details, I'm going to be demoing a little bit on my phone. So you'll see my phone pop up on the screen so that I can show you how to get to some of these things in Instagram. All right. So we'll just quickly start with getting started on Instagram. You may not know, but there's 2 different types of accounts on Instagram. There's an individual account and a professional account. There are several features that are available on an Instagram professional account that you don't want to miss out on. So if you're running a business, I would encourage everyone to switch to that professional account. Some important things to set up on your professional account. We call it a business account if you want. Make sure you select a business category. Make sure you select the contact method that works best for you, whether that's email, phone number, WhatsApp message, Facebook Messenger. Make sure to check that out. Saved replies. This is something that not everyone is familiar with, and it's actually fairly new to Instagram. When someone sends you a direct message on Instagram, you can have automatic replies that you just pop up and send back to the person. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this being available on WhatsApp for Business. This is now available also on Instagram. So if someone messages you on Instagram, you can type the slash and a couple letters and pop up an automatic reply that you can quickly send to your customers. So this is a really important feature that would be great if you guys could start looking into. FAQs is also fairly new as well. If there are questions that your customers are asking you over and over again, you may have already written them down. You may already have responses. You can add them in the FAQs. And then when someone chats you, sends you a DM, these FAQs will pop up at the top so that they can just click on them, see if the answer to their question is there, and then you may not have to actually have that engagement with the customer. Something else that's really important is your bio. You can see in the image here on the screen, Jose's bio. And you want to create something that's really engaging, something that will make people stop and take a beat and want to click on that link that's underneath the bio. We're going to talk a little bit more about that link in the bio a little bit later. Now, when you first create your Instagram account, you have the option to follow or invite friends. And even later on, you still have that option. But I always encourage people when you're getting started, follow the most important people in your space, in your industry. Invite all your friends to follow your business page, because that's really important. Okay. So those are just a few tips on getting started with Instagram for those of you who haven't quite started yet. All right. Okay, so we've got an activity coming up. This section, we're going to talk about 5 tips for writing killer posts. And what I want to remind everyone here is the marketing rule of 3. And what that means is people can only ever remember 3 things. So when you're creating your Instagram posts, think about what are the 3 things that you want people to take away when they look at that post. And then position those 3 things prominently either your graphic or in your caption or in other important places in the post, because people can really only remember 3 things, which I know I'm talking about 5 tips. So I know you're probably only going to remember 3 things, but it's important to think about that when you're creating your posts. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into our activity. I hope everyone can see this post on the screen. This is an old post that we did back in 2018. And I want you guys to critique it. What can we change about this post to make it a better Instagram post, to make it more engaging? And I want you to go ahead and type in the chat. What are some things we can change to make this a better Instagram post? So what do you think? Caption? Yep. I don't see any caption on this post. See a couple comments, but no caption. Background? Okay. It seems like the person featured in the picture is pretty far away. The caption is maybe not, or the background is maybe not exactly what they were going for, what we were going for in this case, since it's our post. Graphic could be a little bit better. Lack of creative writing. Yep, there's no caption, so there's nothing creative to be written here. Excellent. Picture is not bright enough. Exactly. Yep, it's kind of faded. Great, excellent. So let's go ahead and look at some tips. And after those tips, I'll come back and show you what the real post was. I kind of doctored this one up a little bit. So, and at this time, let me go ahead and connect to my phone as well so that I can show you how to do some of these things. So go ahead and connect. Give me 1 second. Okay. Gotta pull it over here. All right. So I hope everyone can, oh, let me connect again. Sorry about this. Successfully connected. Okay. Oh, right, because I'm still up. All right, let me pull up my Instagram account. All right, here we go. So, 5 tips for writing killer posts. The first tip that we're going to talk about is geotag. And it's really important that you guys are geotagging your posts. Why? Because location, location, location. If you ever talk to a marketer, they probably say location, location, location. And it's important because it matters to Instagram's algorithm. Instagram looks at the location of the posts, and it makes it more likely for people in that location to see that post, right? So let's see how we do this. If we're creating a post, let's just say we're going to use this image right here where it says add location. That's where we're going to go ahead and add the location. All right. Everyone see that? That's where you add a location to your post. All right. The next tip is to pay attention to captions. Right. As you can probably see on your feed, let's go to my feed and check it out. Only the first maybe sentence, right, appears on the bottom in the caption, unless someone clicks on more. That means that first sentence is super important because most people are not going to click on that more to read the rest of your caption unless it catches their attention, right? So in the first couple of words in your caption, how can you catch someone's attention so that they want to click that more, that they want to read the rest of your caption? All right. Next tip, share high quality content. This is very important. You want to be sharing high quality images. You want to be picking things with vibrant colors so that they stand out. And one example of this is, and this is actually a Facebook example, but Facebook colors are blue, right? And so there's a lot of blue when people are scrolling through their feeds just because of the nature of the brand colors of Facebook. So if you're using a lot of blue, then that will blend into people's feed and they'll be less likely to notice it. So I always recommend, though our brand color is blue, right? So we have to fight this because you want to stay within your brand color as well. But I always recommend try using colors like yellow or orange that will really stand out and grab people's attention. Also be really thinking about what is the image or video that you're posting. It could be something unusual, but it should definitely be something that's attention grabbing. Right? If someone sees this image, are they going to stop scrolling or are they going to keep going? Right? The next tip for writing killer posts is to use tags and hashtags. We'll talk a little bit about this later. So I'm going to skip over that. Okay. And then finally, my last tip for writing killer posts is show, don't tell. Now, let me explain this a little bit. Instagram is a visual tool, right? We're posting pictures, we're adding videos all the time. And so it's always better to try to show what you want to communicate to your customer rather than to tell it, rather than to just do it with writing, right? What's more effective than telling your customer how good your product is showing them. So I always recommend if you can show to your customers another customer that's really satisfied with your product or service, or if you can post a testimonial about another customer and how they really liked your product or service. Those are so powerful, right? And always something to be looking at. All right, so I've been through the 5 tips. What I need to do now is show you the real post. All right, so let me pop up the real post. And this was the real post. So, oh, you can't see hold on a second, you can't see the caption. That's the best part. Move this up a little bit. Go back in presenting mode. And, all right. So I only showed you the very first line of the caption, right? So does anyone want to put in the chat? What do they like about this post? What's better about this post than was about the last post? Anyone notice anything different?
Sorry, Dave, we still can't see the caption.
Oh, okay. Let me try that again. I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. And let me move it up. There we go. All right. Is that better, Winnie?
Yes, please.
Excellent. All right. I've already got someone saying clearer image. Yes, definitely a little bit more quality image here. What else is better about this post than the last one? Anyone notice anything under our handle up there, under Oze app? The picture makes you interested to read what is there. Yep, totally agree. You have a smiling customer looking at his phone. Image is closer. You're closer to the customer. Excellent. Someone mentioned the caption. Let's just read this caption. It says, "I miss seeing that screen. After a few months of heads down work, we brought the new Oze back." So this, just to give you a little context, this picture was way back when we were just doing testing about our product. And so we had run a pilot, and then we took the app away from those people and we gave it back to them later. And so we're exhibiting a testimonial from a customer that missed using the app when they didn't have access to it. And just that quote, "I miss seeing that screen." I'm wondering, what else is there? Let me click more. Let me find out a little bit more, right? Location is noticeable. Excellent. There's actually a location on the last one. I don't know if anyone noticed, but on the last one, there was no location tagged. This one, we can clearly see the page center is the location where this picture took place, where this interaction took place. Okay. Excellent. That's great. Thanks everyone for sharing your thoughts. I think we've captured most of the things here. All right. Let's continue on to 5 ways to get more followers. This is what we all want, right? And let's be honest, we all start somewhere, right? We all start with 0 followers, and then we get to 1, and then we get to 2. You can see here, Oze, we're just at 2,150 followers so far. This is something that we've prioritized in the company. That's something that we're working on to increase our followers. So we're even doing some of these things, some of these ways to get more followers that I'm gonna go over with you guys, okay? So let's start. First is to be consistent. And I'm gonna bring another marketing rule into the meeting tonight, and that's the rule of 7. And what that rule says is that potential customers need to see your brand or interact with your brand at least 7 times before they take an action. Now you might get lucky. The first time someone sees your brand, maybe they will take an action. Maybe they'll send you a message. Maybe they'll go to your profile and try to learn more. But a lot of times it takes potential customers 7 times before they take an action. So you need to be in front of your customers as much as possible. And one way to do that is to be consistent with your social media presence. And that means having a regular cadence of posting. So what I always recommend to people is pick something to start. Maybe it's just 1 post per week, right? Start doing that and see if you can do it for 6 months. If you can do it for 3 months or 6 months, then you can increase the amount of posting that you're doing. And just do a little bit at a time. But if you're consistent with your social media posts, you're staying in front of people, and that's really important. The next way to get more followers is to offer a followers only promotion or a giveaway. And this can be really powerful. So an example of this would be, do a post that says, all right, if you follow our page, if you send me a message, if you share this page with one other person, you are entered into a competition to win X. Maybe it's a free subscription to the Oze Business app. Or maybe it's something even cooler than that. Maybe it's well, maybe not cooler than that. Nothing's cooler than a subscription to the Oze Business app. Maybe it's a phone, or it's a dress, one of your products that you want to give away. So this can be really powerful because people will do it. It doesn't take that long to follow a page. It doesn't take that long to share it with one friend. And so I would encourage you to give this a try. Create a post that's a little bit of a competition and that is only available to followers only. And that's one way to get people to start following your business page more. The next option here is to do a takeover. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with a takeover, but I'm seeing it more and more these days. And what a takeover is when you let a partner brand or maybe it's a customer take over your Instagram page for a short period of time. Maybe it's a day or maybe it's a couple of hours. And they are then able to post content or create stories on your page. and it really keeps things fresh. It adds some different things that you can do. Um, and what's also cool about this is that that partner or that customer will be telling people on their page also that, hey, on such and such day, I'm going to take over Jose's page. And that gets you exposed to more people as well. Excellent. Okay, so on to the fourth way, follow influencers. Instagram influencers is such a buzzword these days, but it's very powerful. If you follow someone who has, let's say, 100,000 followers or more, that can really help. And if you can get them to follow you back, or even better, give a shout out about your brand. You may have to pay for it, but sometimes influencers will do it for free. Then you can be exposed to their audience. Right? If they have 100,000 followers, that's a lot of people that you could be exposed to. So look for those influencers, especially the ones in your space, have that little blue check mark or have X number of followers, and see if you can DM them. See if you guys can work together somehow. Follow them. See if they will follow you. Build relationships with these influencers, and that can really help. The fifth way, I know I said that you can only remember 3 things, and then I'm giving you 5 things on each of these last 2 slides, but the fifth thing is to engage people in your DMs. I can't tell you how many business owners I know that say to me, I just didn't get to respond to my DMs. This is really important. If someone messages you, if someone takes the time to message you on Instagram, to send you a message, you have to respond. And even if the message is, sorry, I'm busy right now, I'll come back to you later, you absolutely have to respond to these DMs, because they're definitely interested in your brand. Unless, I know there are some messages that come out there where people are just spamming, right? But if they are legitimately interested in your brand or in a product they saw on your Instagram page, make sure you respond to these DMs. And then engage them, ask them questions. Ask them, what do you really like about my product? Ask them, what other products would you like me to sell? Ask them, what do you think about my brand? What do you think about the customer service that you're receiving? About my options for paying me for my product or service, about my delivery options. DMs are a great place to get customer feedback. Right? So take advantage of that. When people ask, when people send you a message in DM, try to ask questions. All right, lastly, bonus, because it's not 5, and now there's 6. Try reposts. If you guys aren't familiar, I'll add a link actually to this slide. There's a tool out there called Repost. There's a couple different tools now that allows you to repost, hence the name, repost a post that someone else did. So if there's a partner who did a post about your brand, you can repost that. If there's a customer who posted about your brand, I always recommend message that customer to get permission first, and then see if you can repost that, because those are very powerful posts that other people are doing that you can also share on your Instagram page, and that will be helpful in getting more followers as well. So let's see, are there anything here that I need to show? I don't think so. All right. So please, if there's any questions, make sure you're adding them to the chat. We'll get to all of them. All right. The next part of the presentations is just highlighting a few key features in Instagram. There are lots of features in Instagram, and Instagram is adding more features every day. So I just picked 3 that I think are really important that I want to highlight. One of them is called highlights. And so we'll go through them one at a time. All right, first one is link in bio. You guys may be familiar with the fact that you can't post a link in your captions. Instagram does not allow you to post a link in your captions. So what you can do, is you can add a link in your bio, and you can only add one link. So what some companies have come up with is a way for you to click that link, go to a different page, and have more links available. So here's an example of our link in bio. We use a tool called Campsite. There's lots of other tools out there. One's called Linktree. There's several other ones. I put links to these two in the presentation so you guys can check them out afterwards. But what this allows you to do is you can create a post and say at the end of that post or somewhere in that post, link in bio, right? You're telling people who read that post to go to your profile and click the link in your bio. And what these tools allow you to do is have multiple options. So you can see on our page, we have a link to download OZE today. We have a link to take advantage of our promotion that we're running right now. We have a link to join this workshop. We have a link to check out our 10X Your Business Masterclass that we're running right now. So this allows us to present multiple different types of content to people through our posts. And we don't have to update our link every single time with whatever the newest post is. And then these links can stay out there for an extended amount of time. Most of these tools at least have a free version. Some of them are completely free, some of them are paid. But most of them have at least a free version. So I would encourage you to explore them. And if you're doing multiple posts about different things, use this so you can have different links. Okay. I can see someone asking, how can I create the link in bio? If you go to one of these tools, go to Campsite, go to Linktree. They have instructions on exactly how to do it. Basically, let me see if I can just pull this up again. Okay, go back to my Instagram page. The link in your bio is in your edit profile. So you go to your business page, you click edit profile, and you can see right here where it says website. That's where you can post a link. And you can see our link is campsite.bio/OZEapp. So Campsite has created this technology so that when I click, let me just save and go back. When I click this link, it pops up all of our different options, just like the screenshot that I showed you guys. And I can click on any of these options. You can see there's quite a few to go and take my next action. So whether that's going to the OZE blog or going to view OZE how-to videos, etc. So that's where you add the link to your bio, and you can go to one of these tools and check it out. The other thing that's nice about this is you can change it up, right? So whatever your newest post that you do is, you can add that link here. All right, so that's the link in bio feature. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is highlights. If you haven't noticed in the past, right here, you can see right underneath following, message, and contact, there's what Instagram calls highlights. And you can think of this as the different sections of your website, right? This is another way besides just your posts, right? If I was to scroll down, you could see all of our posts from the past. This is another way to highlight, and it's called highlights, the different things about your company, right? So I always tell people to think about this as the different parts of your website. Normally, if you had a website, you would have an about, you have an FAQ section, you would have something that describes your products and features. You would probably have customer testimonials. This is a great place to highlight all of those things. You can see some of the things that we've highlighted. We have some images from our workshops. We have people that have won prizes from some of our giveaways. We have a Double Up, which is a really cool campaign that we're running with EcoBank in Ghana. So we have some information about that program that we're running. And if you scroll over, you'll see some of the other things that we have if you go to our account as well. So this is another chance for you to provide more options, more information about your business. The other thing that I like to highlight here, it's funny when I say highlight when I'm talking about the highlight feature, is to make sure that you use this when you're doing events. because it's a great way for people to go back and see what was that event like that they hosted. Maybe I want to come to their next event. So that's a cool way to do that. Then the last feature, which is really important that I mentioned earlier, is tags and hashtags. Right? So when you do a post, please, please, please use tags and hashtags. Instagram's algorithm really pays attention to these things. So you can tag an individual or a company. If, of course, with your customer's permission is usually best, but you can tag your customer in there. If you're doing a partnership with another company, tag that company. That encourages them to also share that post to their following as well. And then hashtags. And you can just go in the discover section of Instagram and explore hashtags, right? In this screenshot right here, I just typed Insta marketing to see how many people are using this hashtag. And you can see 391,000 posts have the hashtag Insta marketing. And this is important because you want to be included in the conversation that's going around about your product or service or about your brand. So let's say you sold shoes. Hashtag shoes could be a really good thing, right? And you can add these hashtags at the bottom of your posts or just in your posts. And what that helps with is that users can go and search for that hashtag and they'll see all of the posts that have that hashtag, which really keeps you in the conversation, right? The other thing that Instagram users can do is that can follow hashtags, right? So if I'm really interested in Arsenal, for example, I can follow the hashtag Arsenal, and then that stuff will start showing up in my feed. Right? So this is something else that's really important. Again, events. If you're going to an event, let's say you're going to a trade fair or you're going to a workshop. A lot of times, especially the bigger events, they will have a hashtag for that event. And so if you go to that event, take a selfie, take a picture with a customer, make sure you tag that hashtag or make sure you include that hashtag in your post because these companies, the event managers, they will see it, they will share it. It's more exposure, right? So that's a little bit about tags and hashtags. All right, last topic for the day, and please add your questions. We'll do question and answer right after this last topic. The last topic for today is Instagram marketing. So I'm gonna go through a couple of important things for those of you who are interested in exploring Instagram marketing, and then I'll do a little demo. As popular demand, people want to see a little demo of how to get started with Instagram advertising. So the first thing I want to make sure, I only did 3 this time. That's the marketing rule of 3. The first thing that's really important is to focus on one goal. So my example here is this promotion that we're running right now. And our one goal for this promotion is to get people to click that send message button and message us telling us they're interested in the promotion. I don't have any other goal except for that with this ad that we're showing. You can tell it's an ad because you see a little sponsored right underneath the brand. Okay. So send message might not be your goal, right? Maybe you're doing an ad that's just about brand awareness. And maybe the call to action button here would be visit my website or visit my profile or something. So you can go in, you can see the different call to action buttons that are available and choose what's most important to you. The next thing that I always recommend is to do A/B testing. What that means is that you can get a lot of value out of trying different things. So maybe you're trying 2 different graphics. Or maybe you're trying a little bit of different, a couple different copy. That's what I put there, which is just marketing speak for the words, the text that's in your caption. right? And so if you try a couple of different things, you see what's doing better, what people are reacting to, and then you can go with the one that's doing best. So that's what I mean by A/B testing. And finally, target the right audience. So I'll show you in a second when we do the demo, but you can get pretty specific in terms of the group of people that you want to target. So think really about the goal that you decided in the first tip here. And think, what is the audience that I really need to see this ad? And then try to target that audience. So we'll do that now. So let me pull up my phone and I'll show you guys how we do this. All right, so here it is. There are two ways to start a promotion on Instagram. The first is to just go to a post. So let's say you want to boost, we wanted to boost this post, which is a success story about one of our customers. I can just click boost post here. You have to be in your business account for this to work, right? But I can just click boost post here and it takes me to start taking me through the flow of creating an ad. The other way that I can get to Instagram ads in Instagram, of course, for those of you who are familiar with Facebook ads, Instagram and Facebook are connected. And so you can run Instagram ads directly from Facebook Ads Manager. But we're just going to focus on the ways to do it on Instagram today. So the other way is to click the hamburger menu in the top right. So let me do that again. This 3 lines in the top right, call that a hamburger menu. You click that. And then you go to settings, I believe. Where was it? I just did this. Insights, your activity, discover people, save. Where was my other way? There was 2 ways when I did this earlier. This is really cool, by the way, professional dashboard. If you haven't explored your professional dashboard, there's a lot of really cool information. Yes, this was indeed where I was trying to go. So you can see, once you click on your professional dashboard, there's add tools. Aha. And then the other thing is just this add tools button here. So now I know I've given you 3 ways to get to running Instagram ads. So the easiest way, right, is to just click add tools. Now, once you're here, you can choose the post that you want to run an ad with, right? So, and what Instagram does is it highlights, you can see up here, promote top posts. It goes ahead and highlights automatically for you one of the top posts. But you can also choose posts. So I can just go to choose post, and then I can see all of my posts that we've done in the past, and I can choose which one I want to boost. Okay. So let's go ahead and walk through the steps a little bit so we can just talk about them. So let's say we want to boost our Happy Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day post. Click the arrow next. Now Instagram is going to ask you, what is your goal, right? We talked about this a second ago. What is your main goal for running this ad? Is it you want more profile visits? Is it you want to direct people to your website? Or is it you want people to message you? So what's most important for you? We typically go with a more messages, because then we get to interact with that customer. But if you're doing an awareness play, or you have a really nice form, or you're directing people to an e-commerce website, some of these other options can also be good. So let's check more messages. Now here's where you select your target audience, right? Now, there are some special ad categories here. So if you're doing anything in loans or employment or housing, you may need to use one of these special ad categories. There's just some special privacy rules around that. But let's say we're not in any of those. Oh, lost my screen. Hold on a second. Lost my connection, maybe. Just 1 second. Reconnect. Start now. And I'm back. Okay. So back to Instagram. Now, when you're creating an audience, the audience you want to target, right? You create the audience name. So let's come up with an example here. Let's say we are a fashion company and we've just come out with a fantastic new dress that we want to sell. So maybe we're going to target women interested in fashion. Okay. Now, we want to only target people in a specific location where we're doing business, right? We don't want to target people in China unless we can ship our products to China. So let's say we're in Lagos. Go ahead and select Lagos, Nigeria. Give that a second to load. You can see I can select the region, I can select the city, and then click check. Now here's where it gets interesting. Interests. If I go to my interests, I can search for anything that I can think of. So let's type fashion, and you can see all the things that Instagram or Facebook users have indicated interest in. Right? So maybe I want to target anyone who's indicated interest in fashion and style. Now, what Instagram is going to do is they're going to pop up other good things for you to target as well, right in the bottom, suggested interests. So maybe I also want to target people who are interested in fashion accessories and shopping and fashion. And it tells you right at the top the potential audience that you can reach. By selecting these three interests, I can potentially reach over 6 million people. So that's a pretty good amount. If I had selected something that showed me a really small number, then maybe I wouldn't want to do that. What I can also control here is gender and age, right? So maybe I want to target people who are, let's say 25 to 55 in age and female. Select. So as you're doing this, you're thinking about, okay, who is the person that is most likely to buy the product that I'm selling? In this case, a fantastic new dress that we came up with. And you can really take some time to explore interests and see who you want to target with this ad. Okay. So now that we've selected our audience, we can continue. And this is where we set our budget and the duration of the ad that we want to run. So let's say, if we're just, maybe we're doing, right now it's showing in dollars, but $5 daily for, let's say we just want to, maybe we're just testing this out. We just want to do 3 days. Okay. And then it gives you a chance to review your ad before it goes live. When you're ready to go live, just click Boost Post. Oh, let's give my screen a second to catch up here. Review ad, there it is. And you can click Boost Post. So very briefly, that's how you do Instagram advertising. Okay. So let me, oh, and that's it. Wow. I've been through the whole presentation. I think I've done it even in my time. 6:55 here in Ghana. I know it's late in Nigeria, 7:55. So thanks to all of you in Nigeria. Now it's time for questions. For my team on the call, if there were some questions that were already asked that I didn't get to in the chat, please let me know. And anyone who has questions, please put them in the chat. This is actually the most exciting part for me, is answering questions.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. So we'll move to Q&A, as Dave said. So Mimi both said, the problem is that our ads manager is usually in dollars.
I see. I would need a little bit more context to solve that problem. I know that in Nigeria, there should be a way to pay in Naira. And though it's showing in dollars, you can still pay in Naira, or you can still pay in CDs, right? So I think Instagram hasn't maybe made that update yet, and maybe that's why it's showing in dollars. But you can just do the conversion and try to figure out, okay, what is this in Naira? That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, Wisdom is giving a recommendation saying that he loved this workshop. Wisdom, we are very grateful. So folks, you can keep your questions coming in. And okay, so Seems Ida wants to get an explanation on what a takeover is again.
Yeah, sure. Let me go over that one more time. So a takeover is when you let a partner or maybe a customer take over. That's why it's called a takeover. Take over your Instagram account for a short period of time, usually no more than a day. And what you do is you give them your credentials to log in. And now, this needs to be someone that you trust, right? Because we need to be careful with our credentials. But you give them your credentials, and what they can do is they do a story or they add some posts throughout the day, and then afterwards you change your password. And so that's important. Because though even if it's someone that we trust, it's just a security precaution. Change your password afterwards. And the reason that works well is because the person that's taking over, leading up to that takeover time, will be promoting on their Instagram page. Hopefully, if they're not, work with them to make sure that they do this. That they're going to be taking over Jose's page for such and such time on such and such date, right? And so you're exposing yourself to more audiences. And you're hopefully you have a pretty cool partnership with this person, and that's also beneficial because they can talk about their product or service that maybe you're working with them on. So that's what we mean by takeover.
Okay, so Mustafa says he has a question. Mustafa, you can go ahead and type in your question. So Amy Flex says, Amy Flex says, doesn't mean you have to run an Instagram ad on Facebook, and then like you have to run an ad on Instagram and Facebook separately.
No. So if you start your Instagram ad the way I just showed everyone, that's just for Instagram. If you log into Facebook Ads Manager, you can actually select whether or not you want those ads that you've created in Facebook Ads Manager to show on Instagram or not. I believe by default, if you create a Facebook ad, it shows across not only Facebook, but also Instagram and Facebook's ad network, which is, you can think of it like banner ads on other people's websites or things like that. So they have a very wide network where they also show ads as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. So we have another Mustafa here, Abolore, who says when he's creating his ads, it usually shows as too broad instead of great. So he wants to know how to get that under control. It seems when he sets his audience, it tells him it's too broad.
Yeah, you need to spend a little bit of time in that interest section that I showed, and try to find and try to narrow it down a little bit more. And what you may need to do is run multiple campaigns where you're a little bit more specific in the language or the graphics that you're using in your ad, so that you can target a more specific interest. The targeting tools that are available just in Instagram, like I showed you guys, are not as exhaustive as what's available in Facebook Ads Manager. If you go to Facebook Ads Manager and start an ad there's a lot more options, and you can get a lot narrower in terms of the people that you're, the way you want to target your audience in Facebook Ads Manager. So I would recommend taking a look at that and seeing if you can narrow it down a little bit.
Okay, thank you, Dave. So Mustafa, now we know that we have to be specific when it comes to audience selection. Somebody is sending love from Lagos, says this is the first Thursday meeting and he loves it, but unfortunately he or she didn't share the name. And so he looks forward to implementing everything that we've shared here. Kudos to you, Dave. And for those of you asking for the recap, we are going to share the link to this session in the groups. Okay, we have 4 people who have raised their hands. Rufus, you can unmute and then go ahead, or you can type. And then Isaac Ofe, you can also type.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, please, we can hear you.
So,
Okay, it seems we are having issues with him, so we can move on. Okay, Enoch wants to know if you can add more than one link. Okay, you've touched on that already. And somebody wants a little recap on the professional IG accounts.
Yeah, just real quickly, there's two different types of Instagram accounts. There's just an individual account, which is for your personal use, right? And then there's a professional account. I don't think I included a link, but I can add a link to the presentation with instructions on how to convert your personal account to a professional business account, if that would be helpful. It's not too hard to do. There are certain features that are only available with a professional account that aren't available with the individual account. Okay.
Okay, so for the sake of time, we'll just go in for the last question, and then we bring the session to a close. So somebody wants a recap on how to use the link in bio, campsite, and then Linktree.
Sure. One of the things we talked about today was link in bio. If you go to edit profile, that's where you can edit the link that's shown in your bio. You can explore one of these two tools that I linked in the presentation, Campsite or Linktree. If you just type link in bio in the into Google, a bunch of options will also come up. And what that allows you to do is when someone clicks on that link in your bio, it presents them with another screen where you can have multiple links. So if you want people to be able to download your app, but you also want them to be able to go to your website, if you want them to go to a page about your promotion, you can have multiple things listed there. And that way you don't have to be changing the link in your bio every time you're running a new post or want to have a link where someone can click.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. So what's the last question is somebody wants to know how to use the OZE app. So I'm very sure we have potential OZE users here. OZE is an app that helps you to do digital bookkeeping and you get insights into your business and your business performance as well. So if you want to learn how to use the app, my colleague is going to drop a link where you can join our Facebook group. So you can join this group and then on a daily basis, we share tips, we provide updates to our users on how to use the app and then extra benefits as well. So kindly join. And then after the session, you have to wait a while. We are going to share a feedback form so that you can fill and then provide feedback for us. So yeah, the link has been shared. And then there's also going to be the feedback form. So before we bring the session to a close, I would like to thank Dave. It was an awesome session. At least we have a lot of takeaways. Now we know that you have to get a business account for our Instagram pages. And then for me, I learned that I have to get attention grabbing posts. My graphics should be very, very spot on. I have to be consistent. And then we also have to focus on our followers, at least run promotions for them once in a while. And then we have to take advantage of the link in bio, as Dave said. For the highlights, we can't do away with that because that is also going to be your showroom. Whatever you do, that is going to be displayed there. So if a potential user visits your IG profile and then you have highlights on all the services or products you have, it means this is a small way of marketing your products in a very big way. And if you are paying somebody to do your ads for you, it means that it has come to an end. You are not going to waste extra money on paying people to promote ads for you. You now can do it on your own. Then we have the hashtags. So we know that we have to tag people so that we get our posts out there. Very much excited about this. And the last part is for the influencers. I mean, it's going to be very difficult because some influencers are charging more than we can afford. So maybe some of us will go for the small ones. But for me, I'm aspiring to save money to DM Gary V so that once he gets back to me, I know if I can afford the services or not. So Dave, thank you very much. Everybody, thank you for joining. It's been an amazing session. I can't deny that. So we look forward to seeing you same time next month. We'll keep you posted. We'll send emails messages as we've been doing always. So kindly wait for the form. We need the feedback. And until then, we'll say have a lovely day. Thanks for joining us.